Hola!
Welcome back to Canines and Coffee. It's been a long time.
It has been long. The last one we did was like right when COVID hit.
Yeah, and then our life went crazy.
Well, today we're going to talk to you guys about a very important thing that you can do to help protect your dog.
Yeah, and yourself probably, well, and your wallet.
Yes, all of those things.
So with that being said,
salud.
Cheers. Okay, so
welcome back.
Welcome back. We hope all of you are being safe and healthy. Definitely enjoying this beautiful weather in November, which is...
This is random. By the time this comes out, there'll probably be a foot of snow on the ground.
Don't say that. Don't say that. So we actually had a common thing happen here at Grassroots. I would say the past like 6 months, give or take.
Well, it hasn't really happened here
at
Grassroots.
But it's been a common issue.
Yes, a lot of clients have been running into problems with this.
And it's weird because Michael and I have been doing this for some time now, and we definitely deal with issues where a client will call us and say, hey, my dog picks up things off the floor and you know, he never gets to leave it. There's like possessive tendencies that we'll see, or guarding. Well, you
kind of just spilt the tea? You told them what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about...
into it.
Well, you just told them.
Because I'm leading into it.
That wasn't you can't start with what we're going to talk about, then back off.
It flows.
That didn't flow. You're starting at the end and going back.
So the problem that we're seeing
is
dogs are ingesting foreign objects.
Yes.
That are not supposed to go in their belly.
Yes, and so we want to kind of address this because I think a lot of times we have clients that actually don't even know how risky it is.
Yeah.
So a lot of clients even kind of just like laugh it off.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, my dog eats socks, ha ha ha. And it on a surface level, like I'm sure it does seem a bit funny,
humorous,
you know, especially if they get into underwear or dirty socks.
Nasty dog.
But I'm sure a lot of you know, and for those that don't, it can actually cause death if those foreign objects, they can cause blockage. So we're trying to kind of spread the word, as well as maybe give some tips on how to prevent that from even happening.
And I would say, like, you know, in the past 6 months, there was actually 4 occasions, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Where a dog had actually arrived, and a young dog, and they end up pooping out the first day being here a sock, or
we had one that came that was a lab puppy, and our vet, Dr. Fab, told us if you ever have a golden that is refusing to eat, it's probably far along on being unhealthy, and there's something really bad going on. So it was a puppy, and it came in and it wouldn't eat. It was here for 24 hours. So we called the owners. They ended up coming and picked the puppy up. They took it to the vet, and thank God the vet found that it had a blockage.
It swallowed the owner's mask that had gone missing.
Yeah, it swallowed a mask, and that mask started blockage.
So you guys gotta remember, from a boarding facility standpoint, from a daycare facility standpoint, from a training facility standpoint, this is nerve-wracking for us.
And just from a human standpoint, with the dogs in general, we don't want them to suffer, because it obviously ultimately can cause death, right?
Yep, and for that to be on our hands, it's not something we want.
So if you know that your dog likes to eat foreign objects, some of the things that you can do to stop that is not let your dog have any free, unsupervised time. And that supervising doesn't mean just sitting back and hanging out and the dog is over. Like, you need to be actively watching your dog.
That leads into what you and I were discussing about this morning, we're like, what is different in the dogs that we're seeing now than, let's say, a year ago or 2 years ago? And why are we seeing it so much more? And what we believe is because more people are working from home, or you know, there's, I guess, more going on in the whole household, so they have less what's the word I'm looking for? Like,
they're not being as vigilant.
They're not being as vigilant because, like, oh, I'm here, so I'm watching my dog, so I don't need to crate him. Or my dog's really great, he lays on his bed and I give him a toy. So what we're thinking is, with everything changing with COVID and more people being at home at times, that it's allowing almost our guard to drop. And our dogs are starting to develop this behavior out of boredom, or just in general out of fun. And it's then becomes, when we see your dog, a behavior we have to break and a habit that we need to stop.
Also, something to keep in mind is, like, these foreign objects can still be toys that are actually designed for dogs. So there was one dog that we had here that the owners luckily realized what happened, but while he was at home, he ingested a dog toy. That was one of his toys. So just because it's made for dogs, yeah, just because it's made for dogs doesn't mean that it can't happen, right? So it's something to keep your eye on and be vigilant. Crates are your best friend.
Yep.
Prevention. You know, obviously we want the dogs to stay alive, but those surgeries are also really expensive. I think they start at like around $5,000.
Yep.
So I'm going to keep that in mind as well.
Yep. So signs to look for if your dog has adjusted something is they're not pooping, they're not, and they're not eating.
Yeah, or they might eat, but then they'll keep throwing up.
Yeah.
So that's something to look out for. But I know all you guys are going to do the right things and prevent your dogs from even getting to that.
Canine Mike, do we do that?
We talked about that already.
Well, what do we do? Like, what tools?
You put your dog in a crate.
What else?
And you don't let him out until you're going to supervise him and be vigilant supervising.
Okay, so let's say we're out and we want to actually teach, let's say, a leave it, so we can, you know, teach them not just to eat things off the floor. What do we do? What are some
Why are you telling me?
Well, I like the obstacle course exercise that we do, where we put tempting things on the floor that our dogs typically try to get, whether it's our kids' toys or a mask or socks.
Obviously,
underwear.
under precautions, you know, where they're not going to actually be able to reach that mask and ingest it.
And we walk them through it and we teach them to leave it. I think that's a really good one.
That is. But a lot of it comes down to keeping your dog's mind occupied on the task at hand.
Yeah. So guys, any questions, comment below, or send in another question for next week's Canines Coffee.
I think a good idea would be for you guys to tell us some of the things that you do to make sure your dogs are supervised, and how you make sure that they're safe when they're unsupervised. Comment that below, let us know.
Oh, that's a good one.
And we'll highlight, maybe we can pin some of those comments right to the top so others can see.
Yeah.
All right, well, cheers.
Cheers.
You have a good one. Ciao, ciao. Happy training.